Journaling and meditation made me feel like I was above other people. In terms of social situations, I saw it as I'm much better than the average person in social confrontation because I meditate and journal and nobody else does the same. And this self-improvement sphere kind of convinced me that I'm some special 1% that knows how to carry myself well. And over time, this ego developed. I started taking every social situation as a chance to perform, as a chance to show how far I've come and how capable I am. So in the moment, I'm very calculative with everything I do. All the jokes I make, all the mannerisms, how I sit, how I look into their eyes. But that's not being conscious. Being present in the moment does not mean you calculate every move you're going to make. I remember autistically looking up into the sky and smiling like I'm some cool, perfect guy. That's not being conscious. If I'm doing that deliberately to look cool, that's absolutely retarded. And because of this, I started getting more and more socially anxious before every social confrontation. So it's kind of ironic how I use journaling and meditation to heal my immense dog water social anxiety, the leg shaking, self-collapsing, painful-ass social anxiety. And then now I redeveloped it after healing from it with good habits. And these things I hear on social media about how self-improvement makes me that special 1%, built my ego up. And then I reinvented social anxiety for myself. I started getting breathless because I would be overwhelmed with thoughts before speaking to someone or going out somewhere. And naturally, it's very common, the obsession with protecting our image, needing to fake it till we make it. I was journaling about this, about how overwhelmed I felt. And then I came out with the statement, you are not above your embarrassment. You are not above your fears, your failures. You're not above rejection. Unfortunately, you are human and you are not above all these negative emotions. You are going to have to face them, and they should not stop you from seeking out your opportunities. As I'm spending so much time developing YouTube, I'm digging myself deeper and deeper into a hole because I don't want other people to watch me fail and stagnate, even though that's exactly what's happening right now. I'm terribly afraid of it. So the less success I get, the more I stop seeing friends, stop talking to people, spend all my time and capacity doing everything I can to maximize YouTube. I take no detours, I have no time to smell the roses while climbing the mountain, and I think it really destroyed me because the more you get sucked in by this fear of failure, the more impulsive decisions I make, the more impulsive ideas I come up with, and that takes away from my creativity. That takes away my ability to see the importance of detours in my life. And as much as hustle culture will tell you that you need to dedicate every ounce of your time to working on your business or whatever you want to pursue, I don't believe you can come up with good ideas when you're constantly stressed, when your mental capacity is taxed on constantly needing to prove how hard you work and constantly being afraid of that failure. You become less creative. The decisions you make are more objectified and more business-minded. And in my line of work, in YouTube, I can't afford that. I have to mediate on the immensity. I have to understand that I'm this small little being on this earth with a small little story. You go on a long walk and you see so much infrastructure. You see so many mythical kind of circumstances in nature, like fog and the sun rays hit through the fog and the trees are glistening. And you hear the waterfalls. You are so tiny. Too often do we connect ourselves directly to the failures, to the fears, to the rejection, to the embarrassment, to the point where it actually hurts us so personally whenever we fail or get embarrassed. I want to remind you that you are not above shame, you are not above fear. And I'm going to keep saying that because it is so important. We should breathe and let it kind of wash through us and chase what we want. It's easy to feel defeated when you're too afraid to do something that you really care about. Unfortunately, you really aren't above that fear. What you can do, however, is develop resilience by conquering the fears that you can handle. And challenge yourself how far you can go in that. You're not a fearless monster. You're human, and it's okay to be. And not only is it okay, if you waste time avoiding things you think you're above, you're only going to throw away so many opportunities. We fear the embarrassment because we believe that we're above it. We believe that we have to protect our image and avoid the embarrassment and that shame at all costs. Because we are too good to be seen watching anime, or we are too good to be seen spending time with that video game loner junkie. We are too good as self-improvement extraordinaires, as entrepreneurs, to be spending time with those little people who go out to party and spend their life in self-indulgence. How do you know you're above them if you haven't made any results yet? And what are you even above them in? This world is so big, there's no direct path to who is better than who. How do we even measure that? And you're so young, how can you be bigoted enough to think that that person doesn't deserve your time? Or you can't let them find out you actually are a normal human being who has some quirky and retarded habits. For example, as much of a strong character I aspire to be, my heart gets shattered when I watch like a romance anime or romance TV shows. Like, I'm genuinely afraid of them because they remind me of my lonely past and my lack of a beautiful story in my life. The girls I've dated are all from dating apps or some random dog shit situation. I've never had a beautiful relationship, and I'm not above that. I really want one. I think it's easy to forget that the goal was never to become fearless. You are incredibly insignificant compared to the rest of the world. Be embarrassed. Be afraid. Be rejected. Fail. Fail and fail. But you're gonna keep doing it because that's your purpose. And that's what you really, really want out of life. How do we truly know what's good for us if we haven't made any real results yet? So I'm gonna change up my strategy. I'm gonna take detours in life. If someone asks me out, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna live. I'm gonna get embarrassed. I'm gonna allow myself to be imperfect. I'm gonna allow myself to be an absolute fool. I'm gonna let myself appear stupid if I have to. That's why I'll ask those questions that are incredibly stupid and incredibly obvious, but I genuinely don't know the answer to, so I'm gonna ask it because I'm not above that shame. And if I want to have something from someone, I'm gonna go and ask for it because I'm not above not being a burden, if that makes any sense. Ego, protecting your image. We don't need it. I'm gonna be the weirdest me possible because it doesn't matter. And I believe that will help me connect with people much faster. I believe that will make me so much more creative. So let's go fail. Let's go get embarrassed. Let's go make ourselves look like absolute fools. Let's go dig our nose. Let's go fart and turn to someone, smile and say, I farted. Because you are not above embarrassment. Yeah. Okay. To better world.